Testing, testing, I won't befriend him. He ain't my friend. I'll put him in a blem.
Oh my God!
We didn't make it to the end, and that really hurts. Aww. So now I gotta put you in a hearse, and it's a verse. So last week the UK got hit by one of the biggest catastrophes that we've ever seen, ever since the Queen died. A lot of hearts got broken. A lot of, people were distressed, and it wasn't pretty. It was truly heartbreaking. I imagine most of you know what I'm about to say, but for the people that have been living under a rock recently, I'd like you to brace for impact.
If you're a fan of these things, vapes, you're going to notice some big changes after the 1st of June. The sale of single-use or disposable vapes will be banned across the whole of the UK.
Banned on the shelves of your favourite supermarket and banned on busman shelves too. Poor busman. Basically, it has now become illegal for anyone in the UK to sell a vape within a shop that they own, within any type of infrastructure that they own, but it can be sold in the street. So anyone that's trying to make a business out of that, get to work. Now, it's not all bad news, for the people that have been an OG vapor, people that have actually brought vapes that you can recharge or reuse, you are in luck, because the government has made it legal for those vapes to be on retail, and for you to, possess one. And statistics have already shown that people are moving to that quicker than ever, with statistics showing a sharp decline of 34% cited back in 2024 of people moving from those disposable vapes to reusable. The incentive comes from the government recognizing that there's a large increase in children buying vapes from stores and being influenced by the way it's marketed to look appealing to children, with all the colourful flavours and how cheap it is to get your hands on one too. Any kid can go to the store and buy a vape for £5. However, any kid can also go into the store and buy a reusable vape for about £15. So the real question here is, was this for the people's health, or was it just to stop littering of disposable vapes?
So the government says it wants to ban disposable vapes because too many young people are vaping. Well, as if banning stuff makes any difference at all. Why does government think that by saying these puritanical things, it's going to make any difference whatsoever? It is just state control of our lives. It's a load of bloomin' nonsense.
See, there really isn't any major difference between a disposable vape and a reusable vape, besides the fact that a reusable one doesn't come with a lithium battery that you're gonna throw away. A disposable one does. The government has seen an increase in lithium batteries being thrown away because of this. People are throwing away vapes onto the streets faster than my dad. No, I'm not gonna say that, but you get the point. People are throwing away lithium batteries that are in these disposable vapes. And if this keeps happening, there's going to be a big global issue, an economic issue within the UK. Lithium batteries are one of the most dangerous batteries because they have seen to start fires and, just be flammable, which can cause issues for the environment. Obviously, I ain't gonna go too deep into that. So in a way, this ban was good, but my problem is, was this really for the benefit of children, or was it just for the benefit of yourselves, people sitting in a higher power, because they live on the same earth that we live on too? The reusable vapes now are even marketed in the same way that disposable vapes are. So if it really was an issue of kids being attracted to it, why is the marketing still in the same effect? Why are the prices still similar? Kids are still going to move onto that, as the data shows.
Okay, cool. They banned vapes for
aimed at reducing vaping amongst young people, as well as the litter they create.
But they didn't ban rechargeable vapes. So they're trying to get rid of the addicts, not knowing the addicts are going to go to the rechargeable ones. Are they fried?
Now, to really encapsulate how capitalistic this has become, I want to go back a little bit to when the vape was first successfully commercialized, back in 2003. A pharmacist in Beijing decided to create a device that would, be an alternative to smoking after his father died of lung cancer due to how he was smoking cigarettes. After his success, we fast forward to 2006, where vapes were first introduced into Europe. People were loving them, and there really wasn't no reason to. I mean, on paper, it was the perfect product. I'm addicted to cigarettes, something that is likely to kill me in the future, and you're giving me something that is going to make that less likely. I'm taking that in an instant, until the World Health Organization came into play. They proclaimed that vapes are just as dangerous as cigarettes, and they should not be inhaled. They contain toxins and chemicals within their mix that are very deadly to our lungs and our blood. This was the first time that a government secretary made it official that vapes are dangerous and brought it to light. However, this didn't really stop anything. It got discredited very harshly. More scientists came with data showing that vapes are 100 to 200 times less dangerous than cigarettes and are okay to take as an alternative, but they shouldn't be taken as a startup. And now that's where the problem comes. A lot of children in today's era have been attracted to vapes because of how it's been marketed to appeal to children, and they have now started an addiction with vapes, which is never, it wasn't the goal of vapes. The goal of vapes was to be a safe alternative to smoking. To say that the government should have known better is an understatement. If you look at how a cigarette box is marketed with all of its scary messages and everything of the sort compared to a vape box, why is it that a vape box has so many fruits, has so many colorful pictures that would attract a child, but a cigarette box has a lot of deadly and a lot of fear-imposing images? Now, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the facts are there. The government capitalized heavily off of children's influence and lack of, growth in the prefrontal cortex. You top that friendliness off with the no commitment side of disposable vapes and the convenience. It's no wonder that kids are going to be attracted to that. In 2022, 40 children were admitted to hospital, with vape cases being the reason being that they were sitting in a hospital bed. That sounds like a mouthful. Now, that was in 2022, and cases have only been rising since then. So now that we recognize that the difference between a disposable and a reusable vape are not too different, especially if they're both being marketed in the same way and have similar price points, question marks being risen while reusable vapes are still in the market and being sold legally within stores isn't surprising. We're still asking why. Why can't the government just rid us of all of these products that are affecting our health in this way? Can't they just take all the nicotine off the products? Can't they afford to just make us a little bit happier? The answer to that question is actually no, because the government makes a lot of money off of vapes being sold. In 2021, it was seen that disposable vapes did a £2.1 billion turnover in the economy, which is pretty good, pretty decent, especially considering that was the first year that disposable vapes really started taking off within the market. To be honest, are we really surprised? I mean, it's not like this is the first time the government have shown us to our faces that they do not care about our health and are willing to profit off of our health being lowered. I want to use our best friend in the UK, alcohol, as an example. Being sold in pubs, football stadiums, your dining table, your friend's house, my house. I don't use alcohol, so I don't know why I said that. Your other friend's house, the club you're gonna go to this evening. It's all there. Alcohol is there for you. But is it actually? In the year 2023, the UK recorded more than 10,000 alcohol-related deaths, which is 40 times more than homicides with a sharp object, being 244 and 300 times more than cannabis-related deaths, which are both illegal to possess within the UK. But the question arises now, why isn't alcohol illegal to possess? The answer is the economy, and alcohol is an essential point to the economy, contributing 46 million, which is just about double what it takes to keep alcohol as a stable product. So that's a lot of profit. See, alcohol isn't just a drug like vaping or, anything else that you like to take in your spare time. It is culture within the UK. It is within alcohol that we find solace within our families. After a long day at work, you go to the pub, sit down, take some alcohol, and you just think nothing about it. But you're really putting money into the government's pocket and really taking years off of your lifespan. No offense to anyone that, you do what you want. But isn't that crazy though? Something that is marketed to cause such comfort and relaxation is the cause of so much domestic violence within the UK and a lot of deaths, a lot of homicides. It's a little bit disturbing. The capitalization is there, and what is marketed in such a way to cause such comfort to you is actually mortality in disguise for the lower class, and for the upper class, profit. A lot of profit. And it's a shame too, and I bet the intentions were pure in the past, but nowadays it isn't. It's clear that greed has clouded the vision of a lot of people in power, and it has influenced a lot of their decision making and allowed them to turn a blind eye to statistics that are really clear and not hard to see. It's more of a shame because alcohol was never a means to do these things. Alcohol was a thing for leisure back in the past. It was a thing to, bring people together and something to be taken within dosages. Not always, but most of the time. And now we can see the result of letting that not be most of the time and be all of the time. I think one lesson that we can take from this is to not let greed consume you. With any business venture that you want to pursue or anything that you want to pursue, whether it's obtaining a bit of money, you need to question your morality. Is it fair to risk someone else's health in order for my wages to go up? Is it okay for me to risk someone else's sanity in order for my sanity to be leveled out? It's something that a lot of people have to deal with and question every single day. And, if you're okay with that, then that's each to their own. But you have to be okay with the fact that you are capitalizing off of someone else's health. And it's even more crazy because drug dealers get a lot of life within prison. As we mentioned, within people that possess cannabis, they get sentenced and it's illegal. So why is it that the distribution of alcohol and nicotine on such a high scale isn't illegal if it's causing so many cases of people ended up in hospital and people having fatal deaths? I think the government should at least try to make interventions more accessible and more well known for people. I think for myself too, something that I'd like to see is more awareness within marketing. I know we speak about fear arousal within cigarettes, but vapes have completely eradicated that. And vapes have become more popularized and more, friendly, more socially accepted than cigarettes. So that's something that I feel like deserves more attention. With alcohol, lowering percentages, that could be another thing that is introduced, lowering percentages of alcohol, making it more friendly and cause less harm to people. Higher percentages of alcohol is what leads to people becoming more drunk easily, leading to them not being able to function cognitively and leading them into, actions that they probably didn't even want to do. And you can't blame people all the time. Some people know no better. With vapes, like I said before, to a child, that is something that if they walk into the store, they see, it's no wonder they're going to look at it. I don't say these things to attack the government, but I say it to reflect a common theme that I have seen, which is the capitalization of drugs and addiction within the UK. Now guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. It really helps my video get pushed out for more people to learn the knowledge and learn just something off of my video. If you did F with it, join the community, post regularly, post more content like this and you'll be part of the 900 community. I'm gonna take care of you, look after you, make sure you're straight. But yeah man, without further ado, it's Mendzz, 900 thoughts from the dome to your phone.